What's up, Cupcakes? It's your boy Paperback Dan, and I'm doing another Wednesday Warrior video, but this time I'm not alone. Connor is back. Say hi, tell everyone how you're doing, even though they've kind of seen you recently anyway.
Hi everyone. Yeah, was ill for a while. I missed these videos. Obviously, me and Dan did our sell me on this with Power Rangers recently. So if you want, you can check that out. But yeah, I'm glad to be back on these videos. A major catch up, so it might be a bit of a mess to begin with. But yeah, we'll see what we could do.
I'll say it is a pretty light week for me. I know you were telling me that it's not super heavy on your end either. So this one might actually be pretty short. And we'll try to avoid going too far off topic because, as you may or may not know, we are on Spotify now. We had a podcast. The first episode released last week, and that's kind of where we're gonna do our like catch up and like our weird offshoots and tangents and all that stuff. So we'll try to keep these videos to just about what comes out this week and do all the extra comic book talk that we love over on the podcast. So be sure to check that out. Cupcakes Comic Reviews on Spotify. We may branch out to other platforms, but right now it's just a Spotify thing. So yeah, check us out on there. We've already got a few things uploaded. If the sell me on this video that Connor just referenced is too long for you to want to watch, it's on Spotify. You can listen to it on your way to work and talk about Power Rangers with us.
It's a great video. It's a great listen. It's a great listen.
We've got some, fairly positive reviews for it. So yeah, but Spotify, super exciting.
Also, Spotify holds my Spider-Man rant. If you've missed my Spider-Man rants and you really, really want to hear me go totally off on one. Yeah, that's on Coffee and Comics, our first episode of that. Listen to that and you won't be disappointed.
You won't. I got to witness it firsthand. We didn't expect it to go that direction. I really thought that the Spider-Man rant was going to end up in a YouTube video or something, but it's there exclusively in podcast form. So go check that out if you've been dying to hear every complaint that Connor has had over the last 4, 5, 6 months, however long he's hated the book at this point. It's great. So now that we're done talking about Spotify, we've got new releases this week, sort of, on your end to talk about. So why don't you show us what you got?
Cool. So right off the bat, so I just want to start off with saying that because I was ill at Christmas, I'm a bit behind on comics still. I'm trying to catch up, but also there's been some delays. So I'm behind on some comics still. So there's some stuff out this week that you might see next week or the week after or whatnot. But this week, what I got, so the first one I'll show off, this is probably my worst of the week, but it was a pretty good week overall. And I managed to read them all because I had such a small one. But it's Power Rangers Universe 2. It's a sick cover, like the two of them. I busted out number 1 so I could show both covers. They're really cool covers.
Yeah, they look awesome. I think if it makes you feel any better, I think 2 was on the rack when I went today. So at least that one's up to date.
Yeah, cool. That's good to know. So the cool thing about this series is that in the Power Rangers world, there's kind of like you would describe them as like morphing gods, like the people that kind of watch over the morphing grid. They're called the Morphing Masters. They make appearances throughout the series, which Dan will see when he follows my reading order and my when I sold them on Power Rangers. But yeah, and this is basically their origin, is how they come about. That's why all the Rangers are on there, because the Morphin Masters basically encapsulate all the powers so they can shift. So we're seeing their origin. It's pretty good. The art's a bit messy and it needs some breathing room. It's like flying through and it's not explaining everything, and I'm a bit confused by some things. There's still another 4 issues of this after this. The backs are actually cool as well.
That is cool. So are there is there like a Morphin Master? That's what they're called, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there one for every color, or at least like the core 6?
I think right now, as far as I've seen, well, no, this is insinuating there's more, but I think in the comic book up till now, you only ever at most see 3. There's a red, yellow, and blue.
Okay.
But this is hinting that there's more, but that might just be something we've not seen like in the series for a while. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, and they would have been like that issue 2. I'll probably put that one there because it's the new one. That issue 2 probably be my cover of the week. If it wasn't, and I'm doing another duo because I picked both of these up today. If it wasn't for Human Target, holy crap, these covers! You know, they stood out on the racks like nothing else. And I know this one's a bit old. I believe this one's out today.
Yeah, there was a Human Target book on the rack today. I already forget what the cover looked like, but
yeah,
it probably is 4.
And like these were brilliant. Like this series is so. I mean, look at the backs as well. So I was right about like the ticking. So they are slowly ticking them off with each issue number, but also there's blood appearing on it slowly. So it's doing like a Watchmen vibe thing. Yeah, this is a magnificent series. It's almost like rom-com-esque, like an 80s rom-com. And the art, like Greg Smallwood on the art, is just like I can't sing his praises enough. It just looks so gorgeous. You know, and like the story is fantastic. Like the characterization's on point. It's so good seeing the Justice League International again. Like they're just great characters, and they're so funny. And there's discussions had about them here that make them like you real like. I read the books a while ago, the omnibuses, and I'm like want to read it again now because these characters are so fun. And yeah, like I can't sing its praises enough. Buy it for the covers alone, for the love of God. Like, and I mean, I busted them out as well. But when you're looking at the track record of the covers, I mean, like it hasn't had I mean, that one's still my favorite. It hasn't had a single dud cover. When you look at them all, they're incredible, and they're feel fine quality. And there's even like, you know, you can feel it and stuff in the logos and that, and it's amazing. So I just can't recommend that series enough. That would have been top pick. That's definitely cover of the week, though, those ones. That would have been top pick. But 2 more were better. And now I'm going back and forward, and I can't really decide what one's top pick of the week. Because I've got 2 left, and I can't decide, right?
Okay.
And I don't know what one to go with first. So I think I'll go with a more predictable one. The newest issue of Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin, was incredible. This is I think the second last issue of the Mighty Morphin side before things get crazy. Like I think this is the end of the arc coming now, and it's amazing. I can't say much more than I've already said. It's coming to the end of the Altarian War. The lore's being flipped on its head. There's a fight between 2 people in this issue that I never thought we were ever going to get to see because of how the show does things. But it's a good example of this comic book changing things about the show, like I was saying in that video. And yeah, some of the stuff it does, and the characterization is so good. Like it never forgets who the kids are that are the Rangers. And also, this thing just leaves cliffhanger after cliffhanger, and they're so good. They always make me just like, I'm never bored of it. I always just want to read the next one and the next one, and it's just ace. And if you want to see, as I say, if you want to see me wax lyrical about it, go and watch our video, because I just can't say enough good things about it. On that note, so I guess I will say it's my pick of the week, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Frontiers, man. It turned it around. I don't know if I mean, it might be the first week that I think it is the best. I think Power Rangers did well, but it is equal, but is technically, is Power Rangers a superhero comic? I don't really know. So maybe to me, it was the best superhero comic on the shelves. This thing was so much fun. And I'm so sorry, Dan, because I know you wanted your letter in here. And if you're listening to this, Patrick Kindlin, you should have put his goddamn letter in. You know, We're singing your praises now. Listen to our podcast. We shit
I-
on Spider-Man and we sung your praises. You could have at least put Dan's letter in.
I appreciate your support.
But yeah, like the only right. I'll start with a nitpick. I have one nitpick here, right, and it is a small one. But Brynhilda, the character in this at the start, what the hell's going on with her nose? It's like a triangle. Like that was the only thing that took me out. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like it was all of a sudden, Marco Ferrari like couldn't draw a nose. I noticed he kind of does point in noses, but that one was a bit like out there. She kind of looked like she was turning into like Pinocchio or something. It just didn't look right. But other than that, though, the issue. Have you read it?
I haven't. I have it. I have it digitally.
Do you mind if I show you something? Oh, do you mind if I show you something?
No, go ahead. That looks so fucking cool.
This issue does the classic, and you know what? Like, I don't know if he's channeling like Death of Superman vibes, but like this thing's filled with. I understand why there's no letters, unfortunately, because this thing is like filled with 2-page spreads, and it looks amazing.
And I don't know if you noticed, like I didn't read it, but I've said it before. Like I usually skip to the foreword just because. Well, this time I wanted to see if my letter had made it, but usually I'll skip to the foreword just to kind of see what he says.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I got to the back, like I realized like there's none of that like back matter or anything. Like it's just the comic from end to end until the very last page.
Yeah, it's filled with like. I'd say this is the least political issue so far, but holy hell, does like a lot of action happens, and I believe this is the end of the first arc now. So I don't know. They actually, if you read the back, I just remembered they said that there's a guest artist coming on for the next 2 issues because the one thing they talked about before they started was they do not want delays. They want it to come out monthly and not to be one of that bullshit comics that says we'll be out in 7 months, which I know sometimes can't be helped, but
Sure.
He very much wants to stay on point. So like Marco Ferrari will be drawing like issue, I think it's 8 onwards, but the next 2, 6 and 7, will be a different artist.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if you're getting quality artwork like this, because again, the action scenes in this are amazing, and also it kind of subverts expectation, which you'll see when you read it. I had a really good time with it. In fact, it's making me want to fucking go and read the first 2 issues again, and I've read those like 4 times now. So bloody fuck, you know.
That's
so like, man. Yeah, you done your job. You're turning me around. It was the best comic on the stands, superhero comic on the stands this week. I mean, that's 1 week for me, I would say. But
1 out of 5.
Keep going, keep going,
Yeah.
because the way that the last letter ended, it felt like they weren't sure. I don't know. It didn't feel. I don't know if I felt like the confidence was kind of going back. But I don't know if it's doing as well as they hoped. Like I don't know, and I kind of don't want it to be cancelled now. I want it to keep going, which is insane.
I don't want it to be canceled yet either.
Yeah, but
I mean, even if it was a book that I hated or like just didn't really like, I wasn't really feeling it. Like I don't really wish cancellation on anybody. Mm-hmm. Like I want them to be able to tell the story that they're aiming to tell to the fullest extent they can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just like how unashamed it is. Like, fuck everything I said in the first video I did about Frontiersman. Like, now I'm at this point. Like, I brought up in the podcast Coffee and Comics if you want to listen. We're just gonna keep plugging that. I brought up that I enjoyed the discussion I had about sex in comics and how like nudity and we shy away from it, and why should we shy away from it? And it kind of gets brought up again here at the start of the issue, and I found it kind of refreshing how open and honest it was. Like it's just very it's not face value. It's not over so much face value. It's like it's just like it naturally kind of brings like something happened, and the reactions are pretty honest. Like that's what you would expect to happen. And I really like Frontiersman as a character. Like he just kind of seems set in his ways, but not in a bad way.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm honestly, I think maybe if I get a chance in the next couple of days, I'm going to read all 5 issues again. So because I want to see what it reads like as if that's the first arc, I want to see what it reads like as an arc. You know, I want to see how it feels, and now that I know the style of comic, because you didn't really know in the first couple issues. Now I know it's like almost villain of the week-ish. I'd like to read it again and see if you can kind of connect to any threads. But he said he wants it to be a cohesive story, and that's why they don't want any delays. So, but yeah, you know, on my sign off, kudos. You turned me around. Fuck me for saying all that shit. I will no longer be, you know, fucking your system. You know, like that. Absolutely, the audacity to say that. Yeah, no, it was awesome, and I eat my words. But fuck Amazing Spider-Man. I feel like I should balance it out by saying that.
that has me excited to read it. Yeah, no, I woke up this morning before I went to work, and I was like, all right, I need to buy Frontiersman, and I want to see if my letter made it to the back. And then I saw that it wasn't, and I was just like,
I know, I was so gutted for you. If Patrick Kinlan watches this, I just want him to know that you messaged so many times about wanting that in there. We were all anticipating it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it could still make it next month or something.
Yeah, it might be issue 6. You don't know.
Yeah, because I wrote it kind of late. It was like 2 or 3 weeks.
In issue 6, for the love of God.
Oh shit. So that was all you had?
Yeah, that's all I had. I just wanted to show off some covers.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, I would actually say Frontiersman cover this week. I don't know if because obviously they're all like kind of double page spreads.
Oh yeah.
This one's actually the coolest, but for the first time, as cool as this is, the page spreads that are on the inside are cooler. So that's definitely why it's not pick of the week. And also, as I said, just like I mean, fuck, come on, look at those colors.
Yeah, I do think though. I think Frontiersman might actually be my cover of the week. I had a really hard time picking one this week, but that one's really good. Although,
did you not see that?
I did not see that one. No. But it was hard to pick over the Power Rangers Universe one, issue 2.
That one's so sick.
Say that one's cool. The blue one.
See, Dan Mora draws that, and he's my favorite Power Ranger artist.
Yeah, no,
he only does covers and stuff now.
I mean, yeah, no, I get it.
Well, he's been drawing Detective Comics for the last 8 months, so he's doing Batman for a while. So that's why. Actually, no, it's probably about a year because he drew Batman during Future State last January, so it's about a year now. He's been drawing. Yeah, it's been about a year. He's been drawing Detective Comics now at DC. He did come back for Power Rangers for one issue of Ranger Slayer, but that was really it.
Okay. Well, I guess that means that it's my turn. So related to the Power Rangers, sell me on this video, whatever like plugs that we've put. Something that I bought at my shop today that was not a single issue was a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers book. But if you'll notice, that says volume 5.
Stop teasing me.
Because that's the one that I'm missing out of this stack. Power Rangers books. So you sold me, you son of a bitch.
Look at this fucking hero. Follow this man.
You've got me to want to read Power Rangers. Look at that. Now 5's no longer skipped. All is right in the world. And
in 10 weeks' time, there'll be a video. In 10 weeks' time, you'll do a video like why I fucking hate Power Rangers comic book.
Could you imagine? That would be great.
I would have to do a response video and be like, I do not condone his actions.
Right. I do not approve this message. And I did actually, kind of for shits and giggles, I got 2 more trades. So this one, Project Patron from Aftershock. The premise of this is so this superhero, essentially, I haven't read it, I bought it today, but in my mind, I'm equating it to Superman fighting Doomsday and them both dying. but that like the government or whatever wants people to think that he's still alive. So I guess he's like a robot of some sort now. So like there's people that control him, and I guess the book is about those like people and their exploits trying to maintain the image of that hero. So that sounds pretty fascinating. Aftershock usually does a bunch of miniseries, so I don't know if that's completely self-contained or if it's an ongoing. I'm not sure. I'd have to look more into that. And another real quick Cupcake plug. I got the Once and Future, which actually also came out today. I believe it's issue 24. So oddly enough, I got Once and Future. This is volume 2. And the reason I say that that's a Cupcake plug is because we have a book club. That's what started this whole thing. And Once and Future was one of those books that we did. And me and Connor were like the only ones that fucking liked it.
Yeah, it was number 1 on my list. I noticed that, like, okay, I gotta just plug this quickly. I did a very disrespectful thing the other day in our Coffee and Comics. I did not, our good friend Alfonso, I did not plug. He's been doing crazy good work with our Instagram, and I did not plug that Instagram. So please check out our Instagram more than any other platform and give it likes and follows and comment and just say how much you love Alfonso, because we all love him very much. But anyway, yeah, he posted our Cupcake, like our top book club reads. And Once and Future got an honorable mention, which disgusted me because it was number 1 on my list.
Yeah, I didn't read enough of the book, so I didn't make my own like list, my own ranking. But Once and Future probably would have been my number 1 of like the 3 or 4 that I did read. But yeah, no, it did make a top 5. I didn't read the other one, so I'm not going to say anything. Like, it's fine. It's cool. But yeah, so I wanted to give our little book club a quick shout. Now, for my very, very light week, first thing I want to talk about is Action Comics. I know you weren't able to get it. Yeah. This is issue 1039. This cover's pretty dope though. Like, I really like what's going on here. And I haven't read it yet because
you fucking tease.
I know.
Showing off that cover.
I know. That's why I wanted to rip the Band-Aid and show it first. But yeah, no, I'm really excited because Connor's been raving about it. I'm missing one issue of Superman and the Authority. Cupcake Ben is sending it to me. It's already in the mail. I've got my tracking and everything. I just haven't actually looked at it, so I don't know when it's supposed to arrive. So once that gets here, I'm going to try and breeze through Superman and the Authority, get caught up on Action Comics, and then hopefully come next month, I will be ready for issue 1040.
And the death of the Justice League.
Yeah, I had to make sure to add that to my pull list. I don't want the rest of the Justice League shit. I was just like, just give me 75. I don't care about the Bendis shit. Just give me 75.
That's what I said as well.
And like, it's supposed to be a one shot, but the guy at the shop is like, all right, I'll put you down for 75, but like, just in case, I'll mark it so that if anything else comes out, like, you'll get that too. And I'm like, all right, that's fine.
That's probably a safe bet because I imagine Justice League will come back at some point. It might be a continuation.
Right. Yeah. I have a hard time believing that they're gonna have another Justice League, even if it's like 6 months from now. They're gonna have another one and not reference this.
Yeah.
You know. So next book that I got is Deathstroke Inc. number 5.
You just showing off all the books I missed.
It's another one that Connor wasn't able to get. I still haven't been reading this, but it looks pretty awesome. And Connor has been raving. Damn, I really like this art.
Well, Howard Porter. I'm actually reading Grant Morrison's JLA omnibus right now, and Howard Porter does the art in that. It's pretty cool. That's another important one because obviously it's crossing over with Batman and Robin and stuff. Right,
and I was going to say that you've been raving about Joshua Williamson lately, who's on this book. He would have been your writer of the year if we did some sort of award show.
He would have been my goddamn writer of the year.
But yeah, so I'm excited to check out what else he's doing. because as of right now, I'm only reading Justice League Incarnate that he's working on. So I want to read more of his stuff. I like Joshua Williamson, and if he's going to be pirating this DC ship, or whatever, but if he's going to be fucking handling it, then I want to see what he's about. Last book. This is one that I've talked about a little bit, but I've never gotten to talk to anybody about it because every time it's come out, I had to do a solo video. Is Joy Operations. This is issue number 3 from Dark Horse. It's Brian Michael Bendis. I know, which like you're like, oh, like you were just talking shit about Bendis' Justice League. Yeah, like I don't care.
No, he's that sort of guy. Like he'll do something really amazing, and then like he'll also be doing something really diabolically poor.
Yeah, so like if it was like a big 2 book, then I would normally steer clear, with the exception of the what the hell book came out last week that I read? Justice League versus
Legion.
Yeah. Was it Legion of Superheroes? Justice League versus Superheroes. Yeah, so like Bendis is on that, whatever. But like this book is actually pretty cool so far. I did not read this issue yet, but I've read the first 2. And I enjoy it. It's a little confusing. It is a mini series, so like I'm afraid that there won't be enough to it for me to love it. But I do enjoy it. I do recommend it. I do think that something could be built from it because it's part of his like Jinx World property that he wants to expand. So like I don't know if it's just going to be like a label or like an imprint, or if it's actually going to be like a universe that he builds. Either way, I'm curious. And so far, I've enjoyed Joy Operations. So, yeah, that's all I have right now. And I just wanted to say, I forgot to mention it at the top of the video, but I love the new setup. I love how you got your Omnis right behind you. You got your statues a little visible as well.
And I can set my comics I was talking about at the side of me.
Right. So it's great. I love the new setup that you got, that you decided to make your triumphant return to this segment with. It's technically your first of the year, so New Year up or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, no, it's great. So that's all I have. That's pretty much all we got.
Yep.
So this is a pretty short week. I mean, but do
you know what? I'll show. I'm not gonna go through them, but I'll show. I've had a big week. I've had a big week for Valiant books.
There's so much,
yeah.
Which is an excellent reminder because we've brought it up before. We want to do a Valiant read through. We're finally starting to piece together the details of how we want to go about it. So expect something big Valiant related in the near future. I don't want to put a timeline on it yet, but it really shouldn't be any later than March unless things randomly fall apart. So yeah, by March we're going to be doing a Valiant read through. I can't wait because I've only read part of it. So I'm going to be able to experience a lot of new things with anyone else who wants to read along with us. And Connor's going to guide us through it. He's going to be our fearless leader. He's got the reading order and all that stuff in his noggin. So I'm really excited about that. And there's another thing that I'm kind of excited about. I don't want to, I guess, put it out there, but I am expecting to do another review of a little publishing company. I'm excited about that because no one's really heard of them. So I'd love to kind of get them some eyes, give some honest thoughts about what I think they've got going on over there. So expect that within the next couple weeks as well. Is there anything else that I missed? I know we've got some stuff in the works.
We do have some stuff in the works. I mean, like, Wednesday Warriors will be pretty much staying with YouTube because we want to show off some of the art and the covers we get weekly. And we're going to try and keep them a bit shorter now. Coffee and Comics will be where we chat about anything and everything. We'll do it once a month and kind of catch up on anything. So again, if there's ever anything that we've missed or not spoken about in regards to an issue we've brought up, give us a like just tell us on any of our social media platforms, and we'll bring it with us to the Coffee and Comics and maybe chat about it. And yeah, and we've got a couple of things in the works, some Spotify exclusive things and some on both. But we'll probably bring that up near to the time.
I'll say, yeah, I'm sure once we get some more concrete information, we'll be sure to announce it. So I think we're good. I think we're ready to close this bad boy out. It's good to have you back. I'm glad that we are going to be doing this segment again regularly, except there will not be a Wednesday Warrior video from us next week. I'm going on vacation, so I will not be in town to pick up my new books, which means that the following week might be a little bit more on the heavy side on my end, because I'll have 2 weeks worth of stuff to discuss. But again, won't have to go too far in depth because we have our little catch-up podcast that we're going to do also. So yeah, next week, no episode. I'm bummed about it, probably more than you are. But I'll be back in 2 weeks. Everything will be great. And yeah, so make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Tell us what you picked up this week that we didn't, what you think we should have picked up. Tell us your cover of the week. We've never asked you to do that before.
Tell us why we should have picked up Saga.
Yeah, none of us picked up Saga, and you can judge us for it, and we'll probably ignore those particular comments, but like, air your grievances. That's fine.
I'm sure Taylor Talks Comics will post something about that at some point, so maybe keep an eye on him.
Yeah, he might. But yeah, just Saga, I don't know, man. Like, I like the book. It's not about that. It just, after that hiatus, I just like, I can't wait till it's over.
We probably, we could probably get a good conversation about going on Coffee and Comics.
I was going to say that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, we could be on that for a while. So
right. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all Connor got. Connor, if you want to say bye, now's your chance.
It's nice to be back, and thanks for watching. And as I say, check us out and listen to the previous videos, or watch the previous videos, or listen to the Spotify's we posted so far. See what you think, and thanks.
So that's all we got. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.